Good morning and welcome to my channel PawfectPastimes. My name's Amanda, my friends call me Amo, and I live in Dorset in the southwest of England with my husband and my 3 dogs. And you will probably hear Willow in the background. She's just on the rug just behind Clarice and having a snooze. And as she just wonderfully demonstrated, she does have a moan and groan now and then. Welcome back, and if you're new here, thank you very much for coming along and spending a little bit of your precious time with me. If you haven't yet, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps my little channel grow quite well, thank you very much. It would be really nice for you to join me on a regular basis. Sorry, I'm trying to read my notes and talk to you. Okay, today I have some knits and some finishes, some works in progress and new starts, some sewing, and a little bit of where we've been and what we've been doing and life at the end. I will try and put everything I talk about on the screen for you. If not in the screen, it will be down in the comments just below here where it says more. You can go in and find out more information. Also in there is where you can find me, Instagram. I do have a Ravelry, which I don't use very often, I'm afraid. My email address and my Ko-fi account. That was it. That was the other one. Right, okay, let's start. I am wearing my Xyla tee, Xyla Xyla tee by Sandra Butler, and I've made it in Malabrigo in colour bee dress. I think I made this about a year ago. It'll be in an earlier podcast. I think it was about June last year. Lovely square neckline, nice bit of delicate lace work there and on the end of the sleeves and around the hemline too. It's nice and cool in this weather. At the moment it's very overcast, but it is very warm. It's in the mid-20s at the moment, and it has been clearing up in the afternoons. There you go, a good old Brit weather forecast. Now, finishes. Not many. I'll start with some socks. Now this yarn was Funny Feet socks, and this is Evening Sun colourway, and I made a pair of shorties, matching shorties. These were just my handbag socks. I just done I think it's about 20 rows of rib and my usual 55 to 60 after the heel flap and gusset. I say 55 to 60 because I think some yarns feel as though they're going to be a bit more giving than others. I'm a UK size 8, 42. So I like a fairly snug fit. I'd like a bit of a negative ease on my socks. And because they're shorties, they're just going to go in my little white Bob's pumps. So that was a nice finish. I've got a lot of whips rather than finishes. And another finish I have is this, but I'm going to talk about that later. I'll tell you why later. Anyway, now we have been away to Wales. We went to the far west end of Bannabacheniog and in the Black Mountains. If you're watching, Helen, I could wave to you from where I was, and it was lovely. I did a lot of knitting in the car. I carried on with my land wrap by Louis Boria. Sorry, I had to think then. And I am up to there now. This is the second half. I've done 4 repeats of the Jack in the Pulpit on the second go of it. I've got to do 7 on this one. I've got the other part here that I've already completed, and this one comes to about here. So I've still got all that to make. This is easy. I'm getting a bit fed up of the Jack in the Pulpit, and that's just Sailor's Rib. It shouldn't be too long if I put my mind to it. This was the one I had up by my bed, but it's been too light and early, so I haven't done much on it, but it was good to do in the car. So I've done that much now. I will put in, what have I got up here? I've got a chain with all my markers on, progress keepers, and this is a little leather bunny. I think that was in Rosie's Moments. So I can put that in there now, and that marks where I've shown you. Yeah, there was an I-cord cast on which took forever, Latvian braids. This is 3-in-1 tweed, the Jack in the Pulpit, another bit of 3-in-1 tweed, another row Jack in the Pulpit. This is made in Sandra Haworth tweed, beautiful soft yarn, and it's quite pleasing to know I'm running out of colours now, so I must be getting to the end. Sandra Haworth tweed. I have spoken about this in the other podcasts. Let me find my glasses and I'll see if I can find the colours. Oh, it might be in my book because it's one of those balls that has 2 labels on, and I've probably got all the other one. That's Harewood Chestnut. It's Hepworth Slate. No, oh, I can't find it now. 65. There's Yorkshire Stone, Hepworth Slate I changed out, Colder Sky, Hackney Blue. Hackney Blue, Colder Sky, Yorkshire Stone is the cream, and Harewood Chestnut is the other colour that I swapped for the Hepworth Slate, which was too dark when I started making it up. So there are the 4 colours, and yeah, I'm already out of the Yorkshire Stone, so that is very exciting. This is in my tea towel bag that I made. It's nice, and I like a nice broad bag. That's really quite handy because you can open it and see everything in there, which is lovely. So I'm going to carry on with that. That was a great car knit to do. Not too much to do left now, and I would like to have this for in the garden. I've just got to make that much more, and then kitchener the 2 together, and it will be a huge size. Okay. Behind me you can see my Spector. This is where I was when I last showed you, I think. Amoebic brain cell is still battling me, but I am getting there. But that's where I've got a marker. I can't remember if I showed you I got further in and I didn't move the marker. Maybe, but I am now nearly at the end of the 3rd colour. I've got about another 6 rows to do before I start the bleeding end of the 4th colour. And these are all by Urban Pearl. And I can't remember the colours. Concrete, Docklands, Urbanite, and another one. I have spoken about it before. I will especially when I finished, go through it all much more in detail. Now I had this with me on holiday, and my daughter and my grandson came up to visit us for a couple of days, and as I was knitting on it, I had it inside out. I said to you last time when I was doing it, it's all 3 by 5 purl one knit, and I could get on with that. But in the instructions, it does actually tell you to turn it around and go inside out anyway. So I'm now doing the 5 knit and knit purl. And when my daughter saw it inside out, she said, that's a very plain sweater. And it didn't twig to me that it was still inside out. And when I turned it inside out and showed her the front, which is the outside, she, yes, I can see all the pretty stitches now. It's got some beautiful little flower stitches. And the grading is coming up lovely. I'm so pleased with this. I can't wait to finish it and get it on. I think I'm doing the long sleeves on this one. I like these sleeves, and I do wear long sleeve shirts underneath, you know, t-shirts and things, but I actually fancy quite a long sleeve one, mainly because it will show the grading, and I think that will be lovely. So that is the last colour which I'm about to do. I seem to be okay for it because there's quite a length there. Let me see, I've got yeah, I'm already at 9 inches, and that doesn't include the last ball. My seams are usually between 11 and 14, depending on what look I'm after. So I have the last ball, the fading in, and the rib to do. I'm going to have plenty for the sleeves. I was a bit worried that I might be short because the quantities in the pattern are a lot more. These aren't 400 metre balls. I think they're 380s. Which bag have I got it in? I think I've got all 4 belly bands here. Just a moment. I've got Concrete, which I think is the top one. Quantum, I think, is this one. Docklands is what I'm working on now. And Urbanite is the dark brown. And they're Merino Single Superwash, and it's 366 metres. So they're quite short. But I think I'm going to have enough on the skeins. Why have I got that in there? I can't remember now. Do you find strange things in the bottom of your bags? I'll have to sort that out later. No idea what it is. Anyway, so that is Spector by Locatelli. I am absolutely loving it, and I don't think that's going to be on the needles for much longer. It's a nice knit in this weather because it's quite a lightweight knit. And speaking of weights, in my bag I have the petite knit Anchor, my boyfriend's size. Again, I wish she hadn't used my boyfriend's size. I think it is just a heavyweight sweater. I've done it in the Peer Gynt called for yarn for petite knit. And this is Charcoal 1065. Oh, it smells so sheepy. Yes, I could stick my head in that all the time, I think. I've got to the bottom. It has been screwed up in my bag. It has been all the way to Wales and back. In fact, if you give me a second, I'll put it on Clarice. Okay, now this is the Anchor, the sweater version, not the tea or summer shirt version, by Petite Knit, done in a Norwegian Peer Gynt yarn, and it smells lovely and sheepy, in Charcoal 106585. Glasses on. 65. And the last time I showed you, I was here. I've done all this last bit and the ribbing, and I am now on the sleeves. I've already got that on some DPNs. It is incredibly warm. It is a nice heavy yarn, and it has been far too hot to work on it. So, because I'm on the sleeve, I've got the bulk of the jumper in my lap. I'd like to put it in a bag and just swivel the bag around when I'm doing the sleeve, but it's just too hot to work on this kind of yarn at the moment. So I've put that aside for cooler moments. It is quite cool at the moment, but I'm talking to you instead. And I will be getting on a bit more with that as and when I can actually pluck up the courage to be that warm. It gets a bit sticky in the hands because it's hot. A recent purchase I had was I treated myself to one of Emma's from Eldenwood craft bag. She recently had a little shop update, and I treated myself. I had this squished in quite a smallish bag, so I treated myself to one of Emma's recent bag updates. This is the large, beautiful size box bottom, and I could fit the entire chunky, it's not a chunky, but it is a heavyweight yarn. I think I've had 12 balls of 50 gram, 12 50 gram balls. I think it's 50 grams. Oh, I can't see on there. That's a 50 gram ball, isn't it? Anyway, in there, plus the sweater I'm working on. Inside there's pockets, big pockets, small pockets, long pockets. Both sides has pockets. And it's a drawstring. So I bought that specifically with this jumper in mind, this sweater in mind, because it disappears in this. It's almost square, the bottom. It's huge. Beautiful fabric, and I love the green pattern of a little village. I live in a little village in England, and I just enjoyed that pattern very much. So I treated myself to that specifically with this in mind. So that was another whip underway. Not been touched much, but I will work on that soon. I've done that one, I've done that one. Right, okay, sorry. Done the land wraps back to there. Right, the other thing I showed you last time was the Ross Trevor shawl. Excuse me. If you remember, I started it in a Fruitful Fusion yarn, which was beautiful, but it was a bit too flecky to see the pattern. So I started it again, and this is a Kami, it's a Kami yarn. And this is the word that I can't read because the print is so small and slightly strange. Chukyu. Chukyu, C-H-Y-K-I-U, Chukyu. It's 75% fine merino, 25% mulberry silk, 400 meters and 100. 4-ply. A nice rust and burgundy. There's a tiny bit there where you can see the burgundy next to the rusts, and it shows the pattern so much nicer. Let's see if I can get this the right way around and you can see the pattern. There we go. This is a nice side to side slim shawl. I think I have 2 more. That is a pattern repeat from there to there. I've got 2 more of those. Then I've got to decide if I'm going to keep going into a little triangle or I'm going to have a flat bottom bit. I think it goes okay with me, don't you think? Yeah, so that's going to be a nice long thin one. The Ross Trevor shawl, I got the idea from Angie Knits Northern Ireland. She had a offer on from the designer of this. I put a photo in last time. I'll reinsert it again for you here. It is Brenda Bayfield. There's a small picture of it anyway. That's the pointy one. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. I'll do the extra 2 repeats and then I'll make up my mind. But we're allowed to do that. So that's a Ross Trevor shawl by Brenda Bayfield on Ravelry. Okay. I think I'm up to date with all my whips. I am... next week starts Christmas in July. Christmas in July. And I did quite a lot last year. There is a playlist down below if you want to watch last year's. I'm not sure what I'm going to do this year. I've got a few other things I want to get on with and I want to get ahead with, really. So I can use that as an excuse not to do too much. However, I did show you these 2 balls of yarn. They're Sparkle. They are Stylecraft Head Over Heels, Stripe Up Your Life. And one is that stripe. And one is that stripe. And I think I might cast on a tube so I can do afterthought heels and toes. I might just get on with the tube for that one. And I'm not worried if I don't finish it in July. Not worried at all. This one I contemplated doing a shawl and I found the Vintage Peach shawl. I have no idea what that is on that paper. It was probably something from a dog slobber. Apologies for that. There we go. The Vintage Peach shawl. I hope that's focused for you. It's a 1 skein shawl, takes 400 meters. It's very, very open. And the reason I thought I'd do that one is because I've been getting a pain in my elbow each night when I'm knitting, and this is crochet. So I thought it might give my elbow a bit of a knit rest and see how I get along with the crochet instead. It may not look right. I mean, that is probably a sock tube showing you the pattern there. It may not look right as a shawl. The colour changes aren't too long on it, I don't think. If it's not right, I'll just pull it back and think of something else to do with it. But that would be for a Christmas winter, because again, it's all sparkly. I don't do sparkle except at Christmas. So my Christmas in July, I think, will be a sock tube and a possible shawl. Also, I have pulled out 2 cross stitches, a heart in hand drum. I wouldn't mind doing, but I will have to see what fabrics I've got up in my cupboard. I don't intend to pull out called for. These charts do have the DMC next to them as well, which is very useful. I have tons of DMC. Those are all DMCs there. 3 great big bundles. So I'm trying to use what I have. If I've got a fabric that will do, I will possibly do that. But I like a drum. I haven't done a drum yet. I've got several of these from Heart in Hand. This is a Frosty Tiny Town. So I really fancy doing that one. Well, there's this Home for the Holidays, which is Blackbird Designs. And what I was thinking of doing in here, Can I find it? I quite like this stocking, but I think I do the bottom half with the deer, the house and the tree, and I'd move these two snowflakes over to here and make a rectangular cushion. Just because there's some lovely little designs in here, but I don't want to push myself too hard and then get angsty when it's not done in February. So that is another possibility I might do for Christmas in July. A couple of stitches and some knit crochets, and I think that would be enough. I did quite a lot last year, I think one overrun, but I've got so many other things I want to be getting on with anyway. I'm not too worried about getting on with Christmas in July, because I did lots last year. I feel up to date with my Christmas makes, and I haven't had any family requests, which was nice and makes a change. Right, oh, I've got to drink 3 litres of water a day, so I've got to keep it up. Okay, now then, I'm on to sewing now. As I've just said, I'm thinking I'm doing those cross stitches for Christmas in July. Another make I was been doing since last year is a blue flower acorns. This is just a photocopy. I like keeping my patterns tidy, so I photocopy it. I have been working on this morning, hence it's in the hoop and it's got needles in it. But that is the top right corner. I've done all the lettering and I've been working on this. So this is one that I would like to have finished by the autumn. Hence me not too much in a rush to do Christmas in July. But I could get cracking on that one too. Again, it's one of those ones I have to do occasionally, otherwise I get heat. It's a strange hot feeling in the back of my neck and it's not comfortable, and then it goes stiff. So that's stitching. I have also finally managed to start Angelica's summer apron. She has been nagging me. I have done the stitching, ironing on, not stitching on. This is for my Angelica doll, and you can see she's just, ooh, there she's sitting there, and she's still in her spring. So I really need to get cracking on with this. And it's by Liberty Bell. It's a kit. You can buy all the aprons. I think there's spring, summer, autumn, winter, Christmas. You can also buy Easter and Halloween, which I have done, and she has them. This is my last apron for her. I did look at perhaps making her a summer dress, but quite a bit of her is stitched together, like with the wings and things. So it would take a little bit of time to think about that. But I have got the pattern pieces out. So that needs stitching down, and I'm not sure if I'm going to hand sew it or on the machine. I may even do part and part. One of her aprons is part one and part the other. So that's my stitching underway at the moment. As I said, we have been away to Wales, Banu Bacheniog, and the far western part of the national park, and we stayed in the Black Mountains. It was lovely. The weather was quite cool, which was nice. We were at a higher elevation than we are here, and I know some people revel in this hot sun. I don't, and the dogs certainly don't, and they are our priority. So it was nice to be up in a cool mountain location, we were surrounded by woodlands, so we could go nice walks. We had a stream at the bottom of the drive that had a ford, so they had a good old splash around in there when they got too hot. And we had drive outs to the reservoir, up onto the mountain. There's lots and lots and lots of sheep, so the dogs can't do much on the mountain. We don't let them out. And we did do a few little trips out and about, and one that I did enjoy going to was Llandovery, where there is a yarn shop called Bumblebees. And as you can see, I did a bit of purchasing. There's their shop. And Linzi and Jason were both in there together, so it was nice to have the chat to both of them. At the end of this, I will put a clip, I hope to put a clip of my visit in the shop, and it's a little tour. It's a fabulous little yarn shop that actually sells local Welsh yarn, proper yarn. If Linzi knits or makes with the yarn in her shop, and if she likes it, she'll stock it. And of course, one of the very local to her is Helen of Nellie and Eve, so I had a good squish of Helen's lovely yarns. I bought some yarn. I had a project in mind, so I had a good look around the store, little shop, and I found some Hiertigan fine Highland wool. This colour is 5663. I better trouble that, check that. 5663, yeah. It's a Norwegian, I think. Danish. That's a Danish flag in there, isn't it? It doesn't say anything anyway. My glasses are going on and off, on and off, on and off. Sorry. 3.5 turn 26 meters. Yes, 26. 26M. No. Colour 5663. 40 grams, 180 meters. It's lovely and soft yarn, and I bought with it Bisbis alpaca silk cumulus, which is a fluff, and this is 922 colour aubergine, with the plan of holding those together. That is really blowing out. It is not, it is quite a dullish dark red. I'll put it there, it looks bright pink, but it's not. It's quite a dull red. There we go. And the other colours I bought in Bisbis was Onyx, which is a very green blue, and colour 2163, which is a Air Force blue, and those two to go together. And while I was on holiday, that night in fact, when I bought them, I made a beret, a Bisbis beret. If I can find the... There it is. This has travelled with me. I did make it overnight. I blocked it on a dinner plate. While I was there, and I wore it back to the shop the next day to show Linzi, and I'm over the moon with that. I hope you can see it okay. I've been looking at berets for a while. I wanted to do a colour work one, but then I thought I'd do a plain one, and seeing these yarns, that was definitely a tick in the right box. I like the shape of it on me. And I was very happy with the very quick knit, literally that evening and about an hour in the morning, just to finish off, because it's got a an I-cord cast off. It's you start at the little pip and do all your increases. You do need to do it on a cable, and I did travelling loop. Even though I'm a DPN fan, you wouldn't get that many stitches on DPNs, even with 5 needles. And then you decrease and do an I-cord finish. Wet block it on the dinner plate and leave it to dry. So I am pleased with that. I've got the blue one is made, and I'm going to be making the red one as well. My dog walking coat is this purple colour, so I've got a choice there, haven't I? I don't have the pattern, but it is the Bisbis. Did I write down? No, I didn't. I'll put the links below. I think it's by Sari Nordlund. Yeah, I think it is Sari Nordlund. I will link it all down below. Sorry, kicking brain cell into gear again. But those are beautiful colours. I do love rich saturated colours, or very, very neutrals. So that's one pair of things I bought. I also bought, he's so cute, sardines for tea, Ralph the dog. Some people make lots of cats. I've got dogs. And I saw a little brown dog, and I've got 3 little brown dogs. And you can probably just see Willow's bottoms there now. There she is. So I couldn't leave him on the shelf, and I'm not sure what I'm going to cast him on. This is another reason why I'm not too fussed about Christmas in July, you see. I think he needs to join the pack of Sir Morris of Frogovia and Snoopy. Oh, he's so cute. I can't wait to start that. So I will be... My desk is woofing. Casting him on very soon. I enjoyed my visit there so much. So 2 yarn project and a nitty dog to make. The other thing I found there was Corinne Lapierre kits. Very beautiful, very collectible, I'm sure. But when I saw this, I had to have him. My husband John is a pilot. And he spent a bit of time in South America, and there's a South America flatter in Argentina. There's a South America map behind this gorgeous little mousy pilot. So I had to do him. I couldn't leave him on the shelf. I thought that was such fun. So another reason. I want to do him in July, not for Christmas, for me. And then the next day, I'd seen this on the shelf. I had to go back. I showed Linzi my beret, and I also bought the Professor Hare Stargazer. Around my house and garden, I have stargazing hares everywhere. I must have at least 25 of them. From bronze cast ones to knit ones to... you know, statues in the garden, wire ones, everything. I do like a bit of stargazy hair myself, so I couldn't leave him on the shelf either. I even love the fact that he's looking up that beautiful mother of pearl button. Now, the shop had a lovely vintage section, and you could get carried away in there quite easily. But as I'm trying to lessen my stash, I really, really, really strongly thought, will it be of use? Will I use it? And I've usually got most of what they were selling anyway, but vintage buttons I have got boxes of. But that was beautiful, and she has some beautiful buttons and beautiful Victorian tools there. Very much worth a visit. Also, while I was there, I bought this blocking spray by Yarn Food in lavender. Smells delicious. It's instead of doing a full wash, so I've just done all the washing of my woolly knits and dried them because we had the hot weather, and put them in moth-proof bags. This would just give them a freshen up without having to do the whole wash thing, because some of them are rather heavy. I think my Icelandic took 2-3 days to dry, even in this hot weather we've been having. I did use it on blocking the beret, and it worked quite well. But I do like to give a full wash, but this is lavender, so I thought that would be good for the lighter blocking of smaller things maybe. She also had some vintage spools. Now, I pick these up whenever I see them. I've got a few with scrolls on, so I picked up one of those, and I like that. I've still to make the video of all the books I've made over the years, so that will be coming soon. Obviously, life took a complete turn, different route recently. And finally, I'm not a clothes sewer, I'm not a seamstress. I've done it, I did it when the children were little, I did all their clothes, but I don't do mine really. But I saw this Merchant Mills Indian cotton. There was 3 meters of Indian cotton, and I thought, why not give something a go? I fancy, I don't know, a bib skirt, something like that. Not a full dress. I don't think there's enough for a full dress there, but there might be enough for a skirt with bib and braces. If anybody knows of a pattern out there like that, Suzanne, I know you're a very good and very clean stitching lady. If you've got any ideas, let me know. I also know you like Merchant and Mills, so you'll appreciate that. That's the kitchen knitter, Suzanne, by the way. So I think one thing that did come through the post, I think they came from Sweden. World Books or something. 3 books. No, it's not in that one. I got Ultimate Sweater book. I was recommended this by Faye of Faye DH Designs. I'll put her link below. She recommends this book. She is a designer and her podcasts are very fun, so go over her and share the love. She recommends this if you like fiddling with your patterns, and I am a great pattern fiddler. To me, a pattern is just a recipe and you can tweak it as much as you like, but this book gives you guidance, and I bought it to have a read and perhaps hone my skills a little. Faye is very, very much on the perfection of getting things just right, and I like that. I thought that was quite a thing. There's nothing worse than spending a lot of money on yarn and finger and weight yarn at £20 £6 a skein and you use 4 in a sweater is not cheap. And then you put in hours and hours and hours and hours of work and find you don't like it because it doesn't fit, or it's not right, or it's not the right design for you. So I'd like to hone those skills a little. Rather than expand my yarn stash with things I'm not going to make or use, I'm going to hone those skills and try and make things that I would wear and I like. Also, seeing as I was putting an order in, I put in Knit Light by Marie Green and seamless knit sweaters. As you can see, I've had a little rummage through there. 2 books to have a little, they do have the patterns in, to have a little look through. And there's a few patterns in that one. I haven't really looked through this one much yet, but I have plans for those. So I think that is everything now. I will now let you get on with your day and tidy up my debris. My life has been on an even keel at the moment. The chemo seems to be okay. My hair is doing strange things. I don't mind wearing them. It's I haven't had a haircut since March and it's hardly grown at all. But I am finding lots of hairs everywhere, but it's not coming out in clumps. I have to clean my hairbrush out a bit. So it's thinning, but at the same time, it seems to be lifting. I'm using a shampoo that one of the leukemia sites recommend, Waterman's shampoo, I think it is, which is supposed to help stimulate growth if you start losing your hair. And I think, I'm hoping that it's starting to stand up a bit because new hair is coming out. Is growing where the old hair is coming out a bit, but yeah, not sure what it's doing. Its own thing. It always has done its own thing. See there, I've got quite a few hairs. Stop playing with it. The beret might be useful for other things. If you see my nails, I have had gel polish nails for over 12 years, bar the COVID 2020. When that happened, I took them all off and my nails just disintegrated. So I couldn't wait to go back to gel nails. Because I'm trying to be kinder to my body now while it goes through all these adjustments, I'm growing out. I luckily have a neutral polish on. I got a protein formula polish coating on the nails and I'm oiling them every night and I'm letting the gel grow out rather than taking off. I'm trying to encourage them to be as strong as possible. So things are going okay. I've got another blood test on Tuesday. My next hematology is on the 7th and then we might see if I'm going to adjust my chemo. I'm still on the high dose. This blood test will tell me if I'm going too far the other way because I came down so fast, and it's now going to be the juggling. I'm getting huge cramps in my legs, which are very, very painful, especially after being flat sleeping, and I wake up in the morning, my calves really hurt and I can't do anything with them at the moment. So something's happening inside. We'll see. I've got to drink 3 litres of water a day, so I have to go through 3 of these, which is interesting. I try and get through at least 2 before lunchtime. It's 10:30 and I've done half of one and a coffee. So I'm going to crack on with my drinking. I'm going to tidy up my debris and I am going to send you all my love. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share. I'll be very grateful. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you all soon. Perhaps a little more often through July to show you my socks and shawl, should I decide to make them. We will see. So stay safe, stay creative, and I will catch you again soon. Bye.